Hello, welcome back. It's another day. Another day of work. Another day of, well, it's not Dungeon Master, it's more like Game Master stuff. So I'm going to suggest to you, go grab some food, some drink, get comfortable. There's a lot to get through. I'm going to put up a poll and ask you a question, and feel free to take part in that question. Also, feel free to sort of comment if there's things that I might miss as I work through this. Um, Now, I've done this particular program a lot, and I have, in many respects, found that the program works no matter what sort of type of game you're playing. So I don't think that there's really going to be a huge amount of problems with retooling this particular program, because it is so generic in its nature. But we're still going to do that process. I'm still going to go through that process. And I certainly would like you on board to give me a hand to do that. So yeah, make sure you are comfortable, and we'll get on with things, shall we? And hopefully everything works out the way that it needs to work out. Hi, welcome to How to D&D. My name is, hang on, my name is not D&D anymore. My name is actually How to RPG. That's right, How to Role-Playing Games. How to RPG. And my name is Fred Wheeler. And this is where, if I'm lucky, I don't get confused and wind up getting like overly tired. You never know. It's always possible I could get overtired. So the task for today, if you are unsure, is I am going to go through and remove anything that is related to Wizards of the Coast, the D&D brand, so that it is essentially system agnostic. So this is why I've actually put up the poll's not so much related to that. The goals that I put in as the hashtag is really where I'm at. So no Wizards of the Coast material needs to be, I need to remove all of that. Anything that's D&D brand names, that's got to go. Anything that might be intellectual property for Wizards of the Coast needs to go. Anything that they own that really isn't shared. I need to remove anything that's from the SRD. Anything from the open game license, I need to remove all of that from the document. So I'm going to show you everything that I built for this. So I've run building non-player characters quite a few times. The reality is that I've done a lot, and I've used a number of tools, and I found it very, very useful. This is I've probably run this at least 6 times. This would be number 5. I'm not going to actually present that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you behind the scenes all the slides I made, and then you're going to help me go through and we'll pull all the stuff out that needs to go. Fortunately, I believe that it can be done quite quickly, and I will of course have to make some copies of this as well. So we'll certainly do that. I'm supposed to have my phone near me. Apparently I haven't managed to do that. Where is my phone? Did I put my phone somewhere strange, like way away from me? Probably did. Let's see. No, that's not working. Let's try that. Is that going to work? Okay, that's working. So that's one part that's successful. That's a good sign. And then if I just expand that out a little bit, that should give you a better view of me and the scene. Yeah, it's not too bad. That's not too bad. Just give me a second while I grab that phone, which should be oh, there it is. All right, good news. It wasn't that far away, so I didn't have to travel very far. So here we are. Here is what I built for this particular program. All of these programs actually took quite a lot of time to put together, even if I have sort of reused them in many places. And so the idea is that I will sort of rebuild them today with your help, remove anything that is stuff that I have to take out, and then hopefully from there we will proceed into whatever it turns out to be in the future. Okay, so phone is telling me I'm either disconnected, which apparently I am. Obviously, any kind of artwork that belongs to Wizards of the Coast will have to be removed. Okay, that's pretty obvious. And it says that I'm live.
5 reconciled items.
Don't want that. Don't need the sound. Just need that. Okay. All right. So first off, nice and simple. If we do the slides, I don't actually need Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master, I believe, is IP, so we can take out and just make that Game Master. That's nice and easy and simple. Game Master preparation. Lesson plan 2. Well, we can probably leave it as lesson plan, but I'm just going to say lesson 2. How's that? We'll put that as lesson 2. If people feel like the wording of lesson 2, building NPCs or non-player characters, is a bit condescending or childish, like I can remove that and just put down building NPCs. If anything, the numbering is just to give me an idea of which one is in sequence. Do you know what I mean? The numbering is ultimately so that I don't wind up messing up the order along the way. I can actually probably expand that out to non-player characters. There might be a space to do it now. Player and then characters. Can I squeeze it in? Characters. Characters. I want to take that off for now. I won't need that. My eyes seem to be a bit better today. Well, this is good. Nice. Okay. Now, okay, so I'm going to take that out there. I'm going to put this, I'm going to take this here. I'm going to remove that right now. We'll put something else in there now. So I'm going to go scroll and let you have a look at everything that I've built first. These are all the slides that I turned into panels for OBS. So this is the first one that I've just taken a Dungeon Master image off. This, I believe, is definitely artwork from Wizards of the Coast. So I'll take that out in a second. And then there's objectives that I have listed. Obviously, this D&D Beyond scene will be taken out. And actually, one of the reasons why I have to do this is I have finalized my sponsor. And to protect myself, but particularly my sponsor, I really need to remove anything that might give them some trouble. So I felt like that's the most prudent thing to do. I know a few people don't understand that, but that's all right. And then the next scene here is the quick non-player character scene where I sort of talk about a couple of different reference books where you can get that information from. A lot of that I think you'll find is pretty much evergreen. I don't know that I can use this scene here because I believe a lot of these images are actually Wizards of the Coast property, and I'm pretty sure that's Pathfinder. I might be all right with Pathfinder. That image there of names, I believe that will be safe. And basically, you know, non-player character names is one of those things, right? Different ways of generating them, electronic, using a player's handbook of some kind. Lots of places you can get them from. And there's a few things that I've referred to that I'll probably have to take out because I've referred to Wizards of the Coast stuff. This won't be an issue, I believe, because all of these characters are not related to them. This whole section here is probably going to be pretty good apart from one line in there. So I can probably keep all that. I don't think I have too many problems at all with the story cubes, which is mostly good, so I can keep that. And then if we go down, this here is, I don't believe this belongs to Wizards of the Coast either, so this image is probably, I don't believe they make the Star Wars cards. But somebody can remind me if they have. The next one is the stat block here. I'm probably going to have to take the stat block out and the artwork, that'll probably have to go. And then we've got miscellaneous, and I believe the artwork will have to go, but most of the information is actually pretty evergreen, and these are just some of the memes that I had collected, which, as far as I know, I'm just going to leave them there for now, because I don't think there's too much we need to worry about. Various things. Oh, that's Critical Role, isn't it? And there, yeah, okay. All right, so we've got a few things going on here. Now, for those of you who are like hoping for an actual presentation, one of the things I realized is if I don't do this now, and I can't do this in the background, it takes too long. If I don't do this now, there's going to be a problem. And so I need to clear everything out of my head that's going to cause an issue. But on top of that, I have to replace it with whatever. If I take stuff out, I have to find some other resources that we can use for you. Okay, so Game Master preparation, lesson 2, building non-player characters. Okay, the image, I'll put in an image later. This image belongs to them, so I'll put in a place marker for it. So we'll delete this, and hopefully I can just find what I was looking for in the first place very quickly. Thumbnails. This is it a long one or a short one? I can't remember. Long or short? No, it's more square, isn't it? It's more square. So we'll just use a square block here for this one. Copy, and then drop that in. So this is the exciting thing that you probably missed out, people, behind the scenes for all those programs that I built over over almost a year. It almost took me a year to do that. And so overview and purpose. Quick non-player characters. We're leaving that. We don't have any problems. Building non-player characters, not a problem. Making NPC names won't be an issue either. Creating NPC motivations, that won't be too much of a problem. Hello Rubik, how's it going? Well, what's going on is I'm rebuilding all of the what used to be called the Dungeon Master Preparation classes. I'm turning them to Game Master Preparation classes and just siphoning out anything that belonged to Wizards of the Coast. Hi, how's it going, Noroak? Noroak is a patron. Thank you for coming up. Developing NPC aspects, that shouldn't be an issue. Selecting NPC appearance, that shouldn't be an issue either. Constructing the NPC stat block. Now, I don't believe the word stat block is actually copyright, but somebody will let me know if it's actually owned by Wizards of the Coast. But I believe it's not. It's just how we present that now, since things are a little bit different. Okay, anyway, so that's that bit. That should be fine. That image will have to go, unfortunately, and we'll put in a square block there for now, so I can find something to put in there that will be suitable. Now, probably a few of you are wondering, well, where are you going to get all your art from? Well, that has been one of the things that has been on my mind quite a bit, actually, is like, what do I replace it with? Okay, now, see this here? This is all being replaced. This section, this panel will actually be replaced by the new sponsor, which is starting in February. I know what you're thinking. Fred doesn't have sponsors on his channel. I allowed them to sponsor. I said, yes, you can sponsor this one. But one of the things I didn't want to do is to be doing this sort of thing when they came on board, because I want, as a lot of you know, when we do this sort of thing, when we're usually doing the the Game Master preparation stuff, it's a lot of fun. We have a ball. It's just nuts. And I mean, I miss it. I'm sure all of you do. Explain how to build non-player characters for role-playing games. Almost forgot that. Whoa. Has it come to this? Geez, it has come to this, actually. I know for a lot of people, they don't understand. And they think that there's an issue. But I can assure you, it does have to be done. So that's that. That's all. That's fine. That was an easy fix. Demonstrate how to build non-player characters for role-playing games. Doesn't matter what role-playing game, we're going to make it generic for everything. It should work that way. Role-playing games. All right, so we've got a red line. We don't want the red line. We'll get rid of that. Do this. If anybody spots any... Oh, what's that? Oh, I see two insects. They're having a... they're doing their business. Go away. This is not the right time. Where's something I can slap them with? Go over there. All right, fine. All right. I wasn't expecting... oh, no. Stay off my camera. Oh, you serious? You're going to stay there? Right. Okay. All right, you two. You should have just behave up there. Right. Oh. Good Lord. I managed to lock them in with me. How did that happen? I didn't even see them. They've woken up. All right. Sorry about that. If they come back, I'll have to use something bigger. Something heavier. Like a book. All right. I've got my book ready for taking them out if they give me any trouble. How's it going, Pale Rider? How are you doing? Use AI art. It's free. I'm an artist, and that's the best option in my opinion. I guess the question is for me, Pale Rider, is where would I be going to get good AI art? Because I know that you can get AI art, but some of it's not very good. And also, like, it's sometimes hard to know which art you can pick up and not get into trouble. Yeah, I missed badly, I know. Okay. I might play Dungeons and Dragons or role playing games, but it doesn't mean I have the skills of the characters that I play. Okay. Certainly not anymore. Yeah, well, I've been trying to make AI art and it's been very hit and miss. But then apparently I'm using a server and I need to do something else. But that's fine, we'll get there. I'm not worried about the art just yet. Insect murder live. Yes, that's right. I've been murdering them live. Okay. Allow a practice playthrough of. Allow a practice example of creating a non-player character. Of creating non-player characters. That stays. We don't have to worry about that. That's because I mean, that was the whole point, was to make non-player characters together. So that works fine. Right, so what's this? I'm looking into it and see what I can find out about the AI art. Thank you, Pale Rider. If you're not part of my Discord, let me know in the chat and I will try to remember to post my Discord link so you can join the Discord link and just put the links up there, because you probably won't be able to put them into the YouTube chat because it won't let them show up. Quick non-player characters. Okay. The Game Master's Book of Non-Player Characters. It's actually a really good book, and I don't have to say anything more about that because it's not a Wizards of the Coast product. Pathfinder's Non-Player Character Codex, although it's made under, I'm pretty sure it's made under the Open Game license. I'm kind of unsure if I really need to take that out. I feel like that's like a question mark for me. I feel like I'm willing to have it there just because of that. But then again, how easy is it going to be able to get that book in the future if things go the way they are going, which they probably will. Certainly they're not going to be able to reprint it, so that means you're reliant on an old book that you might not be able to actually find anymore. If somebody's got some suggestions for some books or resources that I can look up on the internet during this, that I could use for, around creating non-player characters as a resource that I could replace and take out the non-player character codex from Pathfinder, since it may well wind up being an issue, just let me know. Published adventure with non-player characters. Published adventures. So published adventures. That's what we want to say. Published adventures with non-player characters. Well, that's not a problem. It can be anyone. It doesn't need to be specifically a company. Non-player character internet generators. Yes. Whoops. And then the Game Master Book of Random Encounters, which again, I believe is, I don't know if that it's made under the Open Game license. Is it? I'm not too sure. There's so many things that are. I think what we'll when I say Open Game license, let's just say anything that's made with the Open Game license SRD material. Is that going to work? This is a hard one. Hello, Nacho. How are you doing? Nacho Man is also a patron. Thank you for showing up. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave those. Those two books are so good. I don't want to take them out. I really don't want to take them out. Anyway, so let's go over here. Building non-player characters. I have to take out this, unfortunately. I know I have to take this out. So now I'm not going to put in the scene or image for our sponsor just yet. Okay. I'll do that later. We'll do that some other time, not today. How's it going, Dungeons and Chronics? How are you doing? I've read a bit of Pathfinder 2 Core book this weekend. I'm digging it a lot. Yeah, but is it crunchier? I'm pretty sure I've been told it's a lot crunchier than Pathfinder First Ed Edition, and probably crunchier than 5e. And unfortunately, super crunch is just not my thing. I mean, I've talked about crunchy games. That's true, but I really struggle with finding any excitement over that sort of thing. That's not to say that I won't necessarily talk about the game. It's just, it's probably not going to happen really, really quickly. Okay, so next, non-player character names. So I don't think that this image is going to be an issue at all because it's from a completely different website, and I think it's and not, it's, you know, it's harmless as it is. Nothing that identifies. Electronic name generator, using standard or exotic names, list of non-player character names. Yes, okay. Player handbook race section. Now, I don't know that I need to worry about the players. I'm saying the player's handbook race section. Do you know why I'm saying this? Because don't most game systems have a player handbook, or am I wrong? If I'm assuming too much, because I know Pathfinder has like one huge book, which you'd think is supposed to do everything, but apparently you do need 3 books to actually play the game. You need the monsters, you need the core book, and you need the game mastery book. Is that right? But I know Call of Cthulhu has the investigator book, which is basically your player handbook. And then they have the keeper book for Call of Cthulhu, which is for the game master, right? Popular so pop culture books, popular culture books, popular fantasy. Why am I saying culture? Sheesh, it's a bit weird. Hello, ugly weirdo. How are you doing? You're building NPCs right now. Good, great. I'm sure you'll get plenty done too. You misrolled dice. Same here. You misrolling dice? Don't worry, it's going to come back. There's 4 I'll do this week, 4 next week, and then in 2 weeks we're back into it, and we can just put aside all of the around, you know, all the stuff we used to make together. It's back on, baby. She's back on. So popular fantasy books. I'm just going to fiction. It's really fiction, isn't it? It's not fantasy, it's fiction, because it could be science fiction. Popular fiction books and movies. Xanathar's Guide to Everything. It is a good list of names, but bugger you, I'm taking you out. What would I replace this with? When I'm just thinking of terms of some of the resources that you can use. The Sly Flourish random name random name list. Dice Goblins. Same here. You explain to me when you say, Nora, you say Dice Goblins. What I will do, since you have mentioned it, Nacho Man, I'm going to go and look up Sly Flourish random name list. I don't know where that is. Maybe what I should also do is pull up my Discord just in case. No, we'll see if we can do a search for it now. Sly Flourish random name list. Let's have a look. Random name generator, Sly Flourish. Oh, he does have one. Back in 2014. Oh, what have we got here? What have you sent me on? Jonjin had all manner of free random lists too. Yes, it does. You're quite right, Donjon. That's another place. I probably need to add that into the note under random generation stuff, don't I? Random shuffle names. Oh, I see. Here's his names. They're just like that. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess that's one way of doing it. He's just made a huge list of names and put it into an article. Do I really want to? I mean, let's say it is essentially a random name generator of many of kinds. So I guess Okay, I'm now thinking a little bit more. What have I done? Have I made a mistake here? I might have made a mistake. If I made a whole lot of changes to this thing when I should have made sure I made a copy of it first. Make a copy, entire presentation. I'll see if that'll work. Okay, so this is actually now Game Master. This is one of the things I should have made sure I made the copies first. Okay, let's just see if I got this right. I might be able to do it now without too much trouble. It's a lesson plan 2, Game Master, that's that. NPC, yes. All right, let's make the copy. And this here, which has already been changed, will have already been saved, so I'll just have to just ditch it. Okay, let's just make sure I fix that up now. So where's my pen? I need to make some notes. Sly flourish. And the other one, and that's name generations, names. And Donjon, you're right. I don't know Donjon. I don't know if there's a nice, easy to use generator. I can't remember. Right. And then this, I need to make a copy before I start fiddling with it, which is what I should have done before. Right, make a copy. And it's not going to be called that. It is called, not copy, it's lesson. Lesson plan 2, GM preparation. GM preparation, or we'll just call it the whole name. That's a long name. What have we got here? We'll make the whole name, eh? Game master. Game master. Okay, so that's that in. Let's make this copy. Right, so we've got a new copy of that, which I'll need to obviously attack in a second, but we'll do that shortly. DM Game Master. Close that. We're not working with that right now. And this is our new thing. Okay, cool. Right. And then Donjon. Let's have a look and see if we can find Donjon. I mean, I have used Donjon before. Donjon RPG tools. Right, let's have a look at Donjon and see if we can find a name generator. There's so many generators here. I would be surprised if we don't. General name generator, generate names using your own source lists. Okay. Fantasy name generator. There is a fantasy name generator. This is for names of characters, events, taverns. Okay, there's a few different choices here. Random generator. Generate random quests, NPCs, Okay. World generator. So there is a name generator here, which I could probably refer them to rather than something else like Xanathar's. Fantasy name generator. Common names. Oh, okay, so they've gone. So you do get some control over it. You do have some control over it. There's not a lot of different ways you can do this though. I think the website that I've suggested is probably better. Oh, you can kind of adjust things to fantasy, monstrous names. Okay, so there's a bit of movement in this thing. Oh, orcish. Okay, so it's not huge, but you do get some. Okay, so Donjon does have a name generator. So that is the fantasy name generator. Fantasy name generator. And then we've got Sly Flourish has got a random name generator, which is not really a generator, it's just a big list. Okay. Your Dungeon, yeah, Ugly Weirdo, Dungeon does look pretty simple. One called Master the Dungeon. What's Master the Dungeon? Is that a website that I need to look up? I'll look it up in a second, dude. If it looks good, then we'll add it in as a resource. Okay, so let's put down random name generator. That's that one. And then you said Master the Dungeon. Let's type in Master the Dungeon. The Dungeon. And Master Dungeon. This is it here. Advice for Dungeon Masters. We would like to show you notifications for the latest news. Cancel. Don't want that, please. Master the Dungeon's actually got a website and a YouTube channel, if I remember right. Now, resources. No, I don't need that, please. Thank you. So they got Master the Dungeon's got maps. I haven't seen them before. I did actually email. I'm pretty sure I emailed Master the Dungeon, but they said they couldn't really do it. Anything with the Game Master Roundtable. Generators, homebrew, DM tools, official, D&D dice rollers or dice rolls. Name generator. So they got a name generator here. And then I've also got a tavern name generator. NPC generator. Okay, so it's a name generator. Let's have a look at the name generator they have. Generate a name. So you can pick a couple of different races or species. First, both, last, female, male, and then you press the button. Okay. And so if I pick something like dragon, elf, gnome, half. Okay, all right. So there's a. It's not a bad idea. Well, let's add that onto the list, shall we? Master the Dungeon. Master the Dungeon. And this is their name generator. Their Dungeons and Donuts name generator. Okay. All right. So we've got a couple of things. We can definitely replace what we had before without there being too much. So that actually, Sly Flourish, Donjon, Master the Dungeon, they look like they're reasonable resources to use in this case. So that's fine. Good. Happy to find that to be the case. And we probably need to make sure I put the links into my notes as well, so that when I finish doing this, it's just easy to transfer over. So back to where I was. Sorry about that. Slight distraction as we were finding new resources. Let's try to make this as easy for people to use as possible. Okay, so now that that's renamed, after I've already changed the old one, which was probably a mistake, but oh well, that's how it is. Probably not going to use it again anyway. We're going to take this out. And we've got electronic name generator, and there are so many, so I can list all the electronic name generators that we've just looked at. What we probably want to do is I probably want to refer to Sly Flourish's random name list. It's not a generator, it's a list, right? So we'll do this. Sly Flourish random name list. Okay. He's called it a generator, but it's not really. It's just a list of names he's put together. So that works. That's fine. So that looks all right as far as I can tell. If anybody thinks that I need to take out the game handbook, I'm just going to put game handbook for now, eh? Game handbook race section. Though some game systems call them, what is it, ancestries? Pathfinders using ancestries. Others use species, creature type. So yeah, okay. So that's fixed as far as I'm concerned. Non-player character motivation. So the image is not the issue at all. Vital motion motivations for NPCs. Simple real life motivations, and don't have to change that. The villain's motivation table is a problem because I'm making reference to Wizards of the Coast stuff. For those of you who don't know, I actually have the first edition Pathfinder book. This is supposedly supposed to be the best game master guide that a lot of people that I've come across have ever seen. Like, there's a lot of and pretty impressive stuff. Like, it pretty much covers everything you would imagine you might need. So, and I've been reading through it. I wish I had the bigger hard copy rather than the sort of the smaller copy because the print's so small. But it does literally have so much here. So there is a chapter 4, non-player characters. That's 78, page 78. And is page 78 better than what Wizards of the Coast has put together? I'm kind of curious now. Are you? I know I am. Cast of characters, NPC roles, villain, donor, helper, victim, patron. So they've broken it down and give you quite a bit of information on each type of NPC. Nice. And then we got the NPC basics, appearance, motivation, personality, and they have sort of stopped there. Making NPCs unique, alignment, ally, background, object, quirks, secrets. So we cover a lot of this stuff anyway. Naming NPCs. Okay, real names, cultural names, all right, stereotypes, monstrous NPCs. They usually have a lot of tables in here as well. It's one of the things I've noticed. So, and then NPC boons, they've got a bunch of stuff around that. Then villains, overlords, priests, crime lords. Okay, but we are, right, here we go. So they have in here a whole lot of tables for creating NPC backgrounds. There's quite an extensive table here. I wouldn't say it's probably about 50 different options for 50 different backgrounds compared to, I mean, I don't know how many backgrounds are there now in Dungeons and Donuts. I don't remember. NPC goals are listed here. Physical characteristics, NPC characteristics again. Occupations. Oh, there's a lot of occupations here. There's a huge number. So personality characteristics. What else you got? NPC secrets, NPC rewards for heroic deeds, random adventure party name generator. All right. Roll on the first and third columns to create a suitable name, making additional rolls on any combination as desired. Okay, so this is actually designed for creating... All right, so they don't actually have a name generator for that bit in terms of... But they have motivations in here. And that's actually probably what I need to refer to, is making sure that I refer to that bit and that they actually have that. So I'm going to have to make a little bit of an adjustment, won't I? So let's put on motivation, so make a quick note. It was names, things to add, and then motivation. Because motivation is pretty important for NPCs. And so we're taking out the villain objectives from the DMG and we're putting in the Game Mastery Guide. One. Game Mastery Guide. I know you can still buy this book. So, and you can probably, you might even well be able to get a lot of it on the internet, as far as I know. Okay, Game Mastery Guide. This is Pathfinder. And that is RPG. That's the first edition. Okay, so I got that down, and the page number for that, since there will be a page number for what we're looking for. NPC goals. Roll-its. So that's NPC goals is definitely important. So let's put that down. That's page 94. Page 94, NPC goals. And then if we work our way through here, it looks like that is the extent of what we've got there. Okay, all right. That's not too bad though. That looks pretty decent. Okay. So villain motivation tables. Now I'm just trying to think back to this. Was there another resource that I was using? Usually I have mentioned more than a few different things, but maybe I haven't. Game Mastery Guide goals. I've already got that there. Objectives. Villain objectives in villain objectives. I'm just going to put down villain objectives for now. And then villain motivation tables. Hello, how's it going, Shiner81? How are you doing? I am just going through and just... I wouldn't say it's... I'm not circumcising it. I'm culling it. Villain motivation tables. if somebody wants to do a search for villain motivation tables, you let me know. If there's something online that we can use that I can refer people to, then that would be good. If there isn't, there isn't. So I'll put a question mark there for now. Hello. You're Eric. Hello, Eric. How's it going? So Mitch Neal. How's it going, Michael? How are you? Michael is also a patron, by the way. Thank you for showing up. Okay, so this is interesting. So we're going to leave that there for the... I really feel like there needs to be something else. We need some villain motivation tables. The ones in Wizard's book are actually not that bad, but I just don't want to refer you to that document anymore, which is kind of ridiculous in many respects. But anyway, let's go here. Non-player character aspects. I'm sure somebody else has done it better. Occupation, personality traits, ideals, bonds, flaws, and secrets. I don't know that do I need to take out the wording ideals, bonds, flaws, and secrets. Flaws and secrets, I don't think so. Ideals and bonds, is it getting too much like it's a Wizards of the Coast product? The Game Master Guide NPC tables. So aspects can actually fall under. So I'm going to refer you to, Game Mastery Guide, I've already got it down the bottom there. Okay, so that's all right. Now I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, here's the problem. There are resources in certain books that are like easy to get, and now I'm taking them out when they actually would be really useful to you, because this usually gives you a lot of different information. I think this is actually maybe I don't do that. Maybe even though I refer to the Wizards of the Coast Dungeon Master Guide, which I don't want to, but there are sections in there that are useful. Do I still refer to it, or do I take it out? I think this is where my look, if you think I seem mixed up and messed up in this live stream, trust me, man, it's been worse when I've been off screen. Okay? Just refer to the player's handbook, the all you need. Yeah, I'm just going to put Game Master Book, game handbook, rather than player's handbook, because I don't know if a lot of rule systems don't have a player's handbook as such. Sorry if I missed the question. I was just trying to create NPCs for the place called, what's that? Fat Belly Farm and Stables. Like different Kickstarters. Yeah, so if you can come up with some various Game Master books from third parties that I should definitely look at, I would be really open to doing that and transitioning some of their stuff into this. And referring people to that. So I'm going to put a question mark here. And I'm going to do this. The Game Master, so that's that bit. First DM screen, DNF5E. Do I really want to... I'm putting a question mark beside that. Don't worry about Rory's story cubes, that's fine. These rules without going through them all yourself. That is one of the things. That's a big factor. But this is what this is all about too. So I'm putting question marks beside the things that I want to pull out. If we can find something that's just as good or better to replace them, then I would be very happy. I'm going to say it, I would be very happy. Okay. So we'll keep moving on and not get stuck. This I don't have to worry about. That I don't have to worry about. Non-player character picture not vital. Can't find non-player character images. Create one important physical. Yes, that's all good. Yes, that's all good. Pathfinder have deck of face cards. Yes, that's fine. Drawing. So actually, that whole panel is actually pretty good. I think we don't have to touch it at all. You could always homebrew your own tables if you don't want to refer to the book, and they shall not be named. Yes. So Noroak, the intention was eventually I would do that. and then of course the patrons would get it first before it wound up going into a publication. But that takes a bit of time, as you know, and I don't have a lot of time. A good game source book. It is. I'm just trying to think what's he got in there, because it's also very, very general too. Do you know what I mean? You still have to do quite a bit of work, even with Mike's book. If the processes are there, but the actual tools aren't necessarily there. So tables and charts aren't something he's filled his book with. Yeah, no, exactly. It is. It can be very time consuming. So, yeah, I'm just trying to remember. I mean, I have actually read The Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master and his first book, The Lazy Dungeon Master, but I'm just trying to remember what he had in it. And right off the top of my head right now, I can't remember. So those are a couple of things I would like to take out if I can. This is fine. We don't have to touch this. This will be a problem. Non-player character stat blocks. I don't think the stat block is going to be an issue. So, yes, that's fine. So nothing quick about building NPC stat blocks. That's true. Generic stat blocks for commoners and NPCs. Yes. Monster manual for D&D 5e. So I want to take that out, but I'm still unsure if I need to worry about doing this, people. Sidekicks. Jeez, this is going to be painful. Really is. That has got to go. We can't keep that. The RPG Tinker has more complex NPC stat blocks. Yes, you can make your own. Okay, so the Lazy DM workbook has a lot of tables. I just haven't seen them. Okay, so that may solve our aspects section. Aspects. NPC aspects. And we're going to check out. I never actually bought the Lazy DM workbook. I know people have said it's very good, but for me, I was like, I looked at it, I was like, do I really need that? So I never grabbed it. This image has to go because that's a Wizards of the Coast image, and we'll get a square copy. It's very warm in my office. I got to take the hat off, people. Sorry, it's too much. I can't take it anymore. So yeah, you're dealing with bald Fred. No. Paste. Take this. What's this? This doesn't need to be like that, so we can bring that in. And then this can go here. And we might have to reposition a few things, but that's basically that done. A couple of things to remove and adjust. This here, miscellaneous recommendation. Combination of all NPC building methods. Okay. Save unused non-player characters for another time. Yes. Player characters killing your NPC characters. This is all generic stuff. This is actually fine. We don't have a problem with that. Deck of endless NPC cards. Gives millions of options. I have ordered that. Bald Fred is terrifying, which is why I wear the hat. That's why I wear the hat. Okay. It's very shiny in the front. Trust me. Very, very shiny. In fact, it might be so shiny you could be blind. Rubik, what do you got here? A deck of endless NPC cards gives millions of options. I have ordered that. You've ordered that? Okay. All right. So let's see if I can find that. I'm just trying to think about this a little bit. Sorry. Let it go. Someone lit the campfire for me. Not a problem. Not a problem. You go do that. Let me just have a look at this deck of endless NPCs. Interesting. So what do we got here? Deck of endless NPCs. Oh, this looks very familiar. I don't think I've got this particular product, but it does. It's a Pathfinder product. It's made by Paizo. I have no problems with mentioning their stuff at all. Yeah. I created a magic item on the Discord that explains the building. Oh, my building. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. You're so nice. So Paizo and then Amazon. So what does Paizo have to say about their own product? Do they show anything? Not a lot. They just talk about it. Basically, it's 104 NPC cards, rules, So I haven't used this product, so I don't know much about it. And almost everything that I've put into these slides is usually something I've used before and I know about. So this character goals, traits, secret agendas, along with symbols to indicate okay, so that's interesting. What has Amazon got for me? Anything useful? Or just one image? A single image. So I would actually have to go and check out this product first. Deck of endless NPCs. Pathfinder's deck of endless NPCs. Okay, so we'll keep that there, and I'll mark that down as Pathfinder deck of. This doesn't really deal with the math side of things. But then again, if it's going sort of system agnostic, and this is what the purpose is, then I probably won't be able to deal with that, will I? That's the reality, is I probably won't be able to deal with that. That would be impractical. Okay, so all the things that I needed to remove have been removed. There will be a few things I need to add back in. I'm not going to worry about doing the art right now. Instead, let us deal with the notes for this. I think everybody's just about to go in my house, which means I'll be able to open my door and I may not actually pass out, which would be great. I can, but it's the shipping, the freight from North America to me, since there's no Amazon in New Zealand, and I can't actually get stuff from the Australian Amazon to me because they never have anything. So I have to use North American, and so the shipping cost is immense. I gave up on buying stuff from them, and I can't be going and buying a whole lot of stuff. I think one of the things you got to understand is, when I'm a channel that spent $14,000 on just equipment last year, and I have not paid any of that off yet. I just didn't make enough revenue to cover all of that, so I can't go just going and buying resources here, there, and everywhere. But yes, yeah, I can usually buy stuff from Amazon, and in the past it was actually cheaper, but now it's not. This is one of those things. Okay, so this is where we need to change a few things. So lesson plan 2, this is actually Game Master, not DM, so we'll just make it Game Master. Game Master building, non-player characters for Game Masters. Okay, let me just see if they've gone. If they've gone, then I can open this door and I'll hopefully survive to the end. My gosh, the temperature in my office is so different to everywhere else. I'm glad I opened it up. What a relief that is. Okay, so Game Master preparation. Preparation, building non-player characters prepared by Frederick Wheeler. Overview. Okay, so our overview should be pretty much the same. Just a little bit of wording needs to be altered. Fred, Amazon 2-day Prime shipping that's not good. No, don't do Prime shipping. Don't ever do Prime shipping. It's really expensive, mate. Even the standard's pretty expensive. Game Master Guide on preparing for role-play games. Role-playing games. Role-playing games, that'll do. Introducing a quick and simple method for creating your own non-player characters on a single A4 page. That's the purpose. Yes. What are we doing? Any. So just any role-playing game core rules. Doesn't matter to me. Wait, is Dungeon Master? It is. Yep. I believe the phrase Dungeon Master was coined by Dave Arneson, and I believe it has a copyright on it, so which is why I've been taking it out. I know that sounds weird, because it feels weird. I assure you. Standards. What are we doing here? Educational standards, role-playing games. So now, educational standards. What are we using here? We are using what? Let's just put role-playing game. Internet websites, and I think that's probably all I can sort of put in there without it getting too weird. I'm going to have to keep my glasses on. Sorry, I'm taking my glasses on and off all the time. It's just reading the small text on my phone and then traveling to this document. It's actually it's different. Without glasses, I can read it, and then I got to put them on to read this clearly and see what I'm doing. Old eyes. Okay, so that's there. Explain how to build non-player characters for role-playing games. Playing games. That was easy. Demonstrate how to build non-player characters for role-playing games. So we'll do that again. So you'll see there's not a lot of huge verbiage that I have to get rid of. It's actually fairly simple, and this is likely to be the case for all of them. I'm supposed to cover monster lore tomorrow. That was the intention, is to cover monster lore tomorrow. You know, usually I do Dungeons and Dragons, monster lore, and workshop, and I was having like little, I don't know what to do with myself with that. I frankly, I had no idea how to contend with it. And in the end, I realized, okay, I just need to get this stuff done. Okay. Allow a practice example of creating an NPC non-player character. Yes, 2 full stops, just need 1. And then materials. We need to make sure we get all the resources that people have mentioned. I need to make sure I plug them into here. If anybody sees anything that I have missed, you let me know, but I think I've got it under control at present. Computer, internet connection, webcam. That's right, Black Magic. Black Magic. 6K. You've got a 6K camera, and I'm doing this in 4K. It's ridiculous. This is utterly ridiculous in many, many respects. 6K camera. But I'm doing it, cover my butt, because I don't want to have to deal with any of their stuff, and really don't want to have anything to do with them. Background screen, I've got that, I've got the lamp. I don't need the ring light anymore, because I've got so many lamps around me, it's not funny. And then Rory Story Cubes, no, we're not using that box so much. I'm just going to put Monster Box, because really Monster Box can refer to any system's monster book. So we'll just do that. And then it's Game Master Guides. Game Master Guide. set of dice. And then we'll just mark that down as... Okay. Role-playing game. I know this is not the most exciting. It is a pain. So you can see what I've written up here. This is a template that I was this template is very much the template that I was given when I was doing my training, and I actually got the template off my mum. She sent it to me. So you can see I actually had to type up quite a bit of information to get everything that I needed. Digital images, question mark, Google Docs running, Google template. That's right, we've got a template. Fantasy name generator. I'm ditching you, D&D Beyond. You're gone. See you later. Monsters, NPC generator. So there's actually a link to an NPC generator. If you haven't ever used it before, it's actually pretty good. If you don't want to do anything. Mid-Journey, that's just for random art. If you want to create random art. Tetracube is for stat blocks. For those of you who are wondering what that's all about. So let me just take the various things that we've got here and go copy, and then I just go back here, and then I should be able to go insert link, and then paste in the one for Sly Flourish. We'll drop down again. Rubik, you don't have to give me a whole lot of money for that. This is a lot of the stuff here, my intention had always been, when I was ready, to forward it on to Patreon too, so that you had a list of all the different stuff that I have collected. It just didn't happen quite at the time I wanted it to. So thank you for the 27 is it Seek? I don't know what it is. Do not pass out. I'll try not to. Oh, it's time for me to take a break too. I forgot, we're on the hour. Let me post in these links to these different resources before I do that. Otherwise, I might forget, and that would be a bad thing, right? So let's go here, Dungeon, which of course really is a resource for anything that you're doing. Super useful tool, that one. Come on, paste it in, Donjon, insert. Okay, we'll drop it down. What do you got here, Norok? Perhaps monster concept creation. We just create the description and lore of a creature. We don't have to create stats. Just inspire the others to create it for the favorite system. So Norok, what I decided with the D&D monster lore and workshop is very much that. But the first one I will do for this year is not going to be. I actually prepared the Remoraz, and I've been sitting on it, and I've been killing myself about what to do with it. I want to talk about it, but then I don't want to talk about it. It's a ridiculous problem. It's thrown me into a bit of a mess, and I mean, some of it is a product of what's going on, and some of it's a product of me. Do you know what I mean? So I thought what I would do is I would do homebrew monster lore and workshop as my first monster thing, but we'll probably have to wait till February because I want to get all of this done first. So that's that resource. This here is the Paizo product, so we'll just grab a link for them, not Amazon. You'd think that they would have the most information on that product, so I'll just put a link in there for it as well. And paste. Okay. What was the other books that I wanted to mention? There are actually a couple of books that I wanted to mention that are actually like super useful for NPCs. Yes, Norok, but it's not just that. It's just you've talked to me enough. You probably know what how I think. I'm actually seeing AJ Piggott on Friday with Esper the Bard and Wally DM and Dungeon Dad Josiah. So I might have a chat with them about the best way to structure that if we have time, because we'll be talking about monsters, of course. Hang on, let me just grab the books that I want. So in terms of like really useful resources that I have found super helpful for me, I would have to say this book has been great recently, but the Game Master's book of Random Encounters, which I've reviewed before, that's actually pretty good. So we probably need to put that into the resources. Does it have the open game license in the back? I wonder. It may not. I wonder if it does. Is Jeff going to have... Yeah, they do. They've got open game license version 1.08, but it's already printed. So his biggest problem is, will he be able to reprint it in the future? This book here is like one of the best sellers on Amazon. It's a bestseller book. This book is all right, and it's all about non-player characters, but it also probably does have open game license stuff in it. Yeah, it does. So he probably won't be able to reprint it necessarily. That might be a bit of a bummer for him. So I'll make sure I add those in. What's that, Rubik? It's like 3580. I don't know what that is. It doesn't matter how much it is as far as I'm concerned. Thank you. It's AUD. I don't know what AUD is. Swedish krona. Seek. Swedish krona. Okay, all right. So I'll know what it is now. So here's the problem: is I'm going to rebuild and reverse engineer D&D into a different system, which means that monsters will potentially wind up looking different as well. Okay, at a fundamental level. So it isn't actually. I was thinking about this quite hard. It's kind of difficult to follow on the maths until I've built the what I consider the replacement system. Okay. So if you're wondering what's going on in my head, that's why I'm thinking the maths might not be quite so important. So let's have a look here. Let's add in these books, and then I will go take a break and then come back, and we'll work our way through here and obliterate anything that needs to go. So Rory Story Cubes, happy with that. Pathfinder face cards. I actually have a set of Pathfinder face cards. Actually, quite a few packs actually. Pathfinder face cards. I wonder if I can find a pack of them and show you really. Oh, there, it's right in there. So it's these things here. I don't know if you can see it on my little screen, but they're basically Pathfinder Society face cards. There's 54 full color cards, and each card basically has an image of an NPC. Of course, it doesn't work for you unless you've like won it that way. And some of them have like information about the character on the back, but you're actually encouraged to write your own stuff. Do you know what I mean? So let's include that because I've got those resources. So I've actually seen them. They're actually a good product. I've used a lot of them. I've probably had more stolen than I still have left. And they're actually really hard to buy now. Like, to buy them is a pain. Okay, so that's that one. That, the Game Master's book of... This book is probably the definitive book as far as I'm concerned, even though it's not necessarily organised exactly the way I would prefer, on non-player characters. Out of everything that I've seen, this is probably the better book out of all of them. And I still gave Jeff quite a hard time about the fact that it didn't have an index in it. So I got an email from Jeff actually about it. The Beholder is the eyewitness. Really? And then the Game Master book of Random Encounters is actually got Random Encounters in it, but there's a section in here all about generating NPCs as well. Like there's a chart or table of 100, which is pretty good. Oh, of course, lawnmower time. Okay, and then I'll put in this other book here, the Game Master's Book of Random Encounters. I was talking to Wally DM about his new book, The Trap and Puzzle Book, and I'm still not sold. I'm actually going to wait for Wally to do his review, and once I get a good close look at it, then I'll feel differently about this. Chris, sorry I'm late. I make NPCs all the time, but I make a point to never make them pet NPCs. That's fine, Chris. I know you make NPCs all the time. Okay, so I think that covers our resources. This is all generic stuff I don't need to worry about. This is the actual content which I will siphon through, and we will cull and adjust as need be. But I'm going to take a short break, about 5 minutes or less. Fortunately for you, you won't need to worry about listening to the lawnmower, because I will close the door for a second and then come back. Okay, so actually what I should do is I should ask you a question. Hashtag, what resources, this is the time to give, what resources should I consider, should I consider adding to the slideshow? And lesson. There we go. That is your question. All right. Yeah, well, yeah, that's the problem with around Christmas, isn't it? It'd probably take you 3 months to get it. Okay, 5 minutes, I'll be back. By the way, Chris, DS Ex Machina has a YouTube channel, deals with a lot of different roleplay games. Okay, coming back into the fray. And do I need a refill? Yes, I do. So let me refill. I am looking at your chat to see what people have written down. Epic stick figure drawings. I'm curious. I'm very curious now. I don't know what epic stick figure drawings is, but let's have a look in a second, eh? So lighting the campfire. Norok, I know you've got to go. I'll check this epic stick figure drawings in a second. Okay, all right. Let's get back onto workstation. So this is where we're at. And I will go here. So what do you got here, Michael? I wish I had the names. I need to do my own research on that. While watching videos in the past, they have asked about other resources that have great tables or create adventures creating NPC creation stuff. Yeah, okay. That's cool. Let me just quickly see if we can find what Norok was talking about. I'm assuming what he's referring to is something that you can use for your artwork. Stick figure drawings. What is this? No. Oh, there is a website. Did I type it in correctly? Drawing stick man. No. Epic stick figure fight. Is drawing a stick man epic fun? Okay, alright. Drawing stick figures. This is probably a resource that I'm going to need to actually get a link to, and you can't do that in this way, unfortunately. This is just drawing a stick man. Let's click on this and see what we've got here. Episode, Epic 2, getting a tips for. I don't know enough about this, so I'm probably going to leave this alone for now, okay? I think that's probably the best way to go. Alright, so let's work our way through this document and see if we can find the things that actually need to stay and need to go. Each heading should be correct, so that shouldn't be a problem. So, the easiest way to craft a non-player character is to get someone else to make it for you in advance. That's true. The Game Master's book of non-player characters has hundreds of pages of ready-made NPCs, and that is true. We don't have to worry about that. The Pathfinder NPC Codex is full of pre-made non-player characters. Yes, it is. And I don't know that I had tentatively said I might remove it, didn't I? Tentatively, I had looked at it and said maybe I should remove it, but I won't remove it because there are too many books that use the Open Game License 1.0a. The only problem is it's probably going to be hard to get, but I will still list it there as a resource because it is a resource. If you can get hold of it and you still have, or you already have it, then you might as well be using it, or you find it somewhere. Any published adventure has heaps of non-player characters that can be stolen. Yes, they don't need to change that. The internet is full of NPC generators that make non-player characters with a push of a button in seconds. Website, so this is NPC Generator. There's actually a website called NPC Generator. If you've never used it, it does a lot. There's a lot of different NPC generators out there. And then the next book I mentioned is the Game Master's Book of Non-Player Characters. Also has random NPC tables. So that's true. So we've actually kind of covered most of that. This is the quick side of things. So I think the quick slide is actually done. I think we can make short. So this is probably fine as is. I don't have to touch it any more than I have, which is nice. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that because we're going to put artwork there when we get some. So names. Names was the thing that we were having sort of a bit of a discussion around. So we've got everything here. So let's go back to the notes on non-player character names. That's just a title head there, nothing else. There was a great toolbox made for D20 like 20 years ago. What is that toolbox, Chris? If you remember what that toolbox is, you let me know what it is, and I will add that to this. If you don't want to tell me and you want to just talk about it on your own channel, that's fine too. I won't be upset. Right. So names. Let's have a look at the names section. Trust me, people, this is going to be done before I have to go to work. We will have time to make it happen. Non-player character's name is the most important step, which you can also get from an electronic name generator website, Fantasy Name Generator. So Fantasy Name Generator is probably one of the best name generators I've seen out there for just developing names. It's really good. There's nothing wrong with using standard names you know or exotic names of people you have met and know. Okay, that's the same stuff as we had before. We don't have to change any of that. It's not difficult to make a list of non-player character names that you can use later. So yes, using the sample names offered in... Okay. So you won't be able to post a link. What you'll need to do, Michael, if you're trying to... It was called Toolbox. Okay. What you'll need to do is you'll need to actually send me... put the link into Discord, and I'll go fish for it later. And then collect it and insert it where I need to. The alternative is that, of course, I just pull up Discord now. I suppose I could do that. I could pull up Discord now and then just share that link, and then you can go from there. So we'll do that now. I'll do a Discord link share, and you can just drop things in there. And if you do put it in the Discord, just let me know and I'll just go find it. Okay, so Discord, it's arts, that's something else, homebrew. Okay, so that's all that stuff. Okay, so let's find our invite people. Yep, I've invited people, and drop it into the live stream right here. Okay, so hang on. Error, try again. Why did it not work for me? Paste. There we go. Second time it did work. Okay, there's the link to my Discord. If you're not on Discord, that's where you stick things so I can find them later. Just let me know if you've placed it there. Toolbox is something that you had mentioned. Can we find Toolbox? Toolbox. No, Toolbox is just going to come up with Toolbox. That's probably not going to help me in the slightest, unfortunately. Might have 10, might have 10, might have 10, might have 10, might have 10. If I go Toolbox in capitals, is that what we're looking at? Maybe that'll solve the problem. Sorry about the background noise. It's just everything's going on around here. No, all I'm doing is getting Mitre 10, Bunnings, the tool shed. It's not going to send me in the right direction. Okay, so that's not... Won't worry about that. I've used Fantasy Name Generator a lot, but more often than they are too cliche. Yeah, they are a lot of cliche. I like making names and sound familiar to real names. Yes, just skewed. No, I get it, which is why I often use a lot of... So it's Toolbox D20, and you'll find it. Okay. I'll post a link in general Discord. Yeah, in the general section, that's fine. You can put in the general section, and I'll find it. There it is. You found it. Well done. We'll just go straight over there. Oh, this is a PDF. This is a pay PDF. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. All right. So this is on drive-through. Okay. It's problem is I've never seen it, so okay. So I'm gonna think about whether I do anything with that in the future. This is obviously a tool for a lot of different things. So toolbox D20. But since I've never used it, Chris, for now I'll just I won't necessarily import it. Okay, so next, names. We had decided to take out this and replace it. And I am going to replace it. So let's keep going down here. There is nothing wrong with it. I said that. It's not difficult to do. Yes, done that. Using the sample names offered in the players in. Use the sample names offered in a lot of game systems actually offer that sort of stuff already in a playing game handbook. Okay, use the sample names offered in a role-playing game handbook under the races section or species, I guess, section. Okay, so we've done that. That looks good. It used to be a physical, but I have the physical book. Sorry. No. I get it. No, I will look at it if I get a chance, but I didn't realize it was a purchasable book, which is fine. But I still I don't want to vouch for something that I haven't actually used. Do you know what I mean? Or actually seen. If it's a website, it's easy. Or I've seen this, but I sent it under the general. I think it was on your Discord. Okay. All right. Okay, so we were talking about sly flourish and names, weren't we? Before that. And I believe I had actually said sly flourish random name list. So let's point in there. Sly flourish random name generator list. It's not really a generator, it's more of a list. And this is basically an article, isn't it? List is an article on the internet. Okay, that's the name section sorted. Let's go into... I wanted to add in a few more, didn't I? So we had actually talked about Donjon. Donjon has one. So there are random name generators. So we'll put it up here. Since we were talking about fantasy name generator, we've got this one here. We'll use Dungeon there. We'll get all that stuff out of the way. The Donjon website has a fantasy name generator. Okay. And so I've done that one, I've done this one, and then we also had Master of the Dungeon has one as well. You posted the table. You created a massive random table on my UM5 GM screen. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so let's I'll check it in a second. Master. Okay, and then there's the Master the Dungeon website. also has a name generator. Under resources. Okay, now let's have a look. Since that name section is just about finished, let's see what Chris has popped up there for now. Oh, good lord. How's it going, Creator Ape? How are you? Oh, okay. Open in browser. There's a lot of random names there. Yes. This is yours, Chris. So this is not something I can include into my thing unless there is a link on you get what I mean? Unless there's a link on a website that makes it freely available, or if it's in a book, then really people need to go to the book to get it. I do not want to include this into this because I feel like that would be, yeah, that just seems a bit on the cuff. I don't want to, yeah. But if you're in the part of Discord, you'll be able to find what Chris has posted up. So, and there are a lot of names there. There are a lot of names. Agile Monk, you sent me a message. So no, if you sent me a super chat, it did not go through. I saw nothing on the live chat. Nothing came up on my phone. Nothing came up on the desktop. Nothing's come through on YouTube Studio for a payment. If you sent me a payment through a super chat, just send it to me through PayPal. You know how to send stuff to me through PayPal, and I'll call you out in a live stream. Okay, it's probably the smartest way. What's this? Makersofforgegames.com. That's fine. If you wanted to share it, Chris, that's cool. I just don't want to. Yeah, I'm just wondering how I would make that. How do I get it from a slideshow and whatever? How do I make it? Yeah, yeah. It's like it's a bit hard to figure out what I do with that. But all right. So makersofforgegames.com. Better. Makers Forge Games. Makers Forge Games. What is Makers Forge Games? Forge Games. Is that what we're talking about here? .com. Well, what have you got? What have you found here, mate? What have you got for us today? Generators. 5e faux generator. LFG faux generator. Advanced character name generator. Oh, I see. Advanced place name generator. I see what you're talking about. So this is another website that has resources for creating names. So we'll do that. We'll add that in. Thank you for that. I will put that in now. All right, so let me just go here. There are so many different websites. The Makers Forge Games website. Web. Try to get it right. Website. Has a name generator in the resources section. Is it? No, in the generators section. It's in the generators section. Generators section. Okay. Well, since we're here, let's have a look and see how this thing performs, shall we? Might as well. Advanced name, character name generator. Kind of curious what that's going to do. Let's do this. Oh, I see. You've got a few. Instructions. Choose a name. Make your own D&D campaign. All right. I see. I saw that. let's go Latin. So there's a few different things you can do. You can go male, female, male, female. I'll just do both, shall we? And let's just generate some names. Okay. And so, of course, you can then click on the names, possible name roots. Interesting. What if I press it again? New list. New list. Oh, and does the list get longer and longer each time? It does. So each time I hit the thing, it creates a new set of names. Interesting. I'm not going to read all the instructions because it's way too small, but I like the idea, and there's a few of those names I could actually pronounce, so that's good. Hey, thank you, Agile Monk, for that resource. I'll make sure to add it. So I have tried it now. It does. It works fine. Okay, so we'll leave that. So names is what we're moving on from. We've done that. We've finished this. Let's get on with motivations, because we need to finish up motivations. And I need to see what I'm doing over here. That's all good. That's finished. Villain motivation tables. This was my only issue, was where do I find villain motivation tables and villain objectives from the resources that I have. But we did actually talk a little bit about that, didn't we? And how to sort of solve that. And the cards were discussed. Was the cards were discussed? There was something that was discussed. No, that was for aspects. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got here. The motivation of any non-player character is vital for portraying and interacting with the player's characters. So pull a simple motivation from real life that you think will fit. Well, I think that's still perfectly adequate advice for what we've got here. Yeah, if you're really serious about sending me a chunk of money, Super Chat's probably not the best way. PayPal is the best way. And my email address is my account. Okay? Cool. Cool. Sorry, BRB. I have to prepare dinner. No problem. I'll see you later. Maybe I'll roll on a table. Well, yeah, no, that tool looks pretty good. So let's deal with the motivation. So we've got, that's reasonable advice. Motivation tables for villains and NPCs can also be found in the Game Master book for any role-playing game. That's usually true. And then I've referred to the Dungeon Master Guide for 5e, which I'm going to take out that line. What I want to add in is what? Did I add in Pathfinder Game Master Guide? I've mentioned page 94 already. Long list of player character goals. That's fine. Now I've got to decide whether I want to pull this out or not. What am I replacing it with? That's the thing. Is like, am I taking a resource away from you that I need to take away from you? Well, I don't know. How do people feel about me leaving in that reference to the Dungeon Master Guide for Dungeons & Dragons 5e? It has a table on page 94. That table's not too bad. But I don't really want to encourage you to buy. I mean, let's get the 5e DMG is shite. It's a very poor book. It's really not very good. It's pretty awful, frankly. So I'm finding it hard to reconcile that. Let me just have a quick look at the Game Master's book of random encounters. I'm pretty sure that the non-player character guide is probably even better than that. But I wonder, I'm pretty sure that there's probably even more in here. Wants and needs. Motivation. Wants and needs are motivations. So it actually means that there's 100 different options, which is actually more than the Wizards of the Coast book and the Game Master's book of random encounters. So there's actually probably more in this section than there is in the Wizards of the Coast product. Okay. Yes, I do need to make my own. You're right. It just won't be happening right this very second. Remember, I need to actually not have a full-time job. Okay. Just sent, oh, good Lord, $50 US on PayPal. Wow. Thank you very much for the $50, Agile Monk. Agile Monk is a patron and a moderator, if you hadn't figured it out. Yeah, no, it's going to happen no matter what. So let's do this. Let's take what is essentially probably superior to the Wizards of the Coast section. It's actually on page 239. And it has simply, it's not villain motivations and objectives. It is just non-player character motives and objectives with non-player character objectives and motives. It is a superior book in every sense. So let's ditch this thing. And we are, what's the book called again? The Game Masters Book of Random Encounters. Kind of strange that this book has got so much in it, frankly. Has a table on page with. It's actually not on just that one page. It actually covers a couple of pages. There's quite a few. Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so just let's me put into. Let's see if I can find this to page. Oh, it keeps going on. Oh, there's a few. All right, page 244. So there's 5 pages of objectives and motivations there. That's a lot. Yeah. Okay. So that's that one. The player's handbook. No, the Game Master's book of non-player characters. I can't remember if they have a table that works that way, because he structured it very differently. What you find is this book is, I mean, there's motives in all of the individual NPCs, but if you're trying to take a table and sort of break it down yourself, it works differently. It's not going to work that way. It's going to work differently. And what you need is all those things in one place. Wants and needs are really, that's your motivation, right? So there's supposed to be tables in here. I haven't looked at it for a little while, so I'm sort of flicking through right now. No, yes, no, anywhere, somewhere. Okay, here we go. Wants and needs. Well, okay, so there are tables here, and there's quite a few, but they are scattered throughout the book. There's numerous tables within this book, by the way, that deal with wants and needs, which is your motives and objectives, essentially. What have we got at the back? So I can't really give you a page number for this. What we do have at the back is random NPC generator, but is that these are just the 20 tables. So it's still not going to, so just referring to that book is probably the solution. Quest categories, how to use it differently. Okay, so I just need to make a reference to that book because it's full of them that are all over the place. Okay. That book, that's how you're going to deal with that. We've referred to this book here, and I will add in the game, masters, pardon me, book of, good lord, that washing machine is so sick. It's gonna die. The bearings are so dead now. Player characters. As many random tables scattered throughout that cover wants and needs of NPCs. Or it's just non-player characters. Okay, so that's that section sorted out. Aspects. Okay, so aspects it might not be quite so easy to dissect things from this, but we'll see how we go. And so we've got the Game Mastery Guide, goals. Why have I got that there? Because I'm talking about that one there. So I need to talk about those two books. That's really what I need to do, is I need to add into the slideshow a reference to those two books. So GM's book of is it random first or the NPCs first? I did the random first and then I NPCs of random encounters. Okay, and then the GM's book of NPCs. I'll shorten these so it will fit. This is actually probably going to give you more and better stuff. This is probably a definite improvement on what I had before. But that's good news. Okay, so I've referred you to 3 books that are probably going to be far more useful to you for doing what you need to do here with non-player character motivations. So let's go on to this section. I don't know that I necessarily had to do very much with this. I can't remember what I was doing here. Okay, let's go back. There are 2 sections. The Dungeon Master screen for 5e. I'm kind of tempted just to pull that out and be done with it. But let's have a look here. Aspects. The depth of a non-player character is created by giving them a function, occupation, personality traits, ideals, bonds, flaws, and sometimes secrets. So I have referred specifically to a couple of tables in the Dungeon Master Guide on page 89 to 91 and 96. Has small. I remember these. They're not very good. It's actually pretty bad. Now that I remember that I've listed the pages, I remember those sections. I don't even feel bad about taking them out because they're so gutless. Like I'm just going to take it out. They don't need to be there. That information is there, but I mean, good Lord, I think everything else that I've seen mentioned is actually probably going to do a better job. So let's take it out. Okay. A very easy way to develop a non-player character's aspects is by selecting a background in the... okay. So I'm referring to the player's handbook. One of the things I really do is I love the player's handbook for 5e because the backgrounds just make it easy to make NPCs. Hello, Eric. Thank you for the super chat. That's the $2 super chat. What are some good vegetables to grow in New Zealand? Right now, it's summer. So silver beet is probably the best thing to grow right now. What else would grow in summer? Anything that grows under the ground, so it's not Zucchini is probably good as well. Those things would grow pretty well. What else is there? Tomatoes. This time of year is good for tomatoes, but you have to have planted them a long time ago. If you try to plant them now, that's not going to work. It's too late. You have to plant them in spring for summer. And then what else? Lettuce is probably going to work pretty well too, but again, probably a good idea to have planted them sooner because the weather's quite hot right now. You love tomatoes? Yeah, I was growing a lot of cherry tomatoes at one point, and that worked out well. Very easy way to develop non-player characters aspects is by selecting a background in the player's handbook. So, and yet this is where my problem lies. That book, the player's handbook for D&D 5e, is actually got some really good stuff in there for making NPCs. And it's I feel like I'm fighting myself to take it out. Is by selecting a background of the player's handbook for D&D 5e. But I mean, essentially, if anything, this doesn't even fall under fan content, or OGL, or even fair use. I could say this and it means nothing. So I could probably just mention it and be done with it. I'm just looking at some of the other things I've got here, and I'm starting to realize that I actually didn't discuss something that I should have discussed here. Oh dear, have I done it again? I have done it again. Okay, so hang on. Let me give me a second while I have a look at the NPC aspects. So I'm going to leave this entry, but I will change the slide. Player. What does Pathfinder use? Does Pathfinder have something like this or not? I'm kind of curious. Player character backgrounds. I'm just going to mention that. This is also very limited and actually probably not much point putting anything in there. I'm going to just take it out. Let's go backspace. Rory story cubes are excellent for doing this. The Pathfinder Game Mastery book is excellent for doing this, and I've got entries in here. And I've put the page numbers in as well. So I can actually refer again to, there's a lot of aspects discussed in the random and the Game Master book as well. I can actually take this and then just change that a little bit. So let's go copy, paste. This is probably a better resource. Same section, but it's actually covering. What does it cover? It covers. I can probably list them, because when we're talking about aspects, we're going beyond just that, aren't we? We're talking about a few different things. I need to make sure I put that in my pocket. We're talking about not so much description, secrets, what they're carrying. This actually doesn't give you what you would necessarily want to include. Now that I think about it, this is probably not a great entry. So would I do anything with that? I'm going to just take it out completely. Actually, the Pathfinder Game Mastery Guide, if I think back to it, it's probably superior in every way, but then again, some people don't have it. Okay, so let's have a look here. It does have secrets. I forgot about that. It has secrets, which is actually quite useful. Character secrets. And what else is there? Secrets and obstacles. Obstacles. Okay. So we'll leave that there. I will keep referring to that. This Dungeon Master screen is actually pretty awful. Aspects. Okay, that's that one. The first Dungeon Master screen. We actually don't need that there, because it's actually not that great. What is superior in every way is definitely the Game Master's book of non-player characters, and I will just copy and paste that in because that's the one that we probably should be mentioning. Okay, so the Game Master has many readable tables scattered throughout the book that cover. It covers so much. This is the problem, is it covers an enormous amount. I'll see you, Eric, if you've probably already gone. Greetings from Sydney. Kathleen. Hello, how are you? Okay, so now that I think about it, it's not just that. It's there's an awful lot here. When I think about it, it's way more, and it's just everywhere. Why did I not mention these? Why did I think that this did not have aspects of characters in it that you might want? I wonder if there's a reason why I didn't do that. Okay. The Karen covers secrets and obstacles. And other. Okay, the Game Master's book of non-player characters has many random tables scattered throughout. It has tables and entries scattered throughout the book that covers secrets, obstacles, and other details. I don't know how to describe it. Details of non-player characters. Okay, so we've got that. That's all there. I just need to make sure that we have the entry there that we need to have. So we'll take that. Can I do this? No, it's probably not a good idea. We'll just go here and go Game Master. Game Masters. Yep. Book of Random Encounters. That's good. And oh, there was another entry there I forgot to include. So we included that one there, Game Master. The second one, the second entry will be here. Correct? Second entry, yes, that's the one. And then it's the GM's book of NPCs. I believe that's the right order. Did I get it wrong? That's Random Encounters as second. Oh, sorry. It is order. Okay, so we will just switch them. Cut. And down here, paste it. And then switch this. Oh, I should go to work, shouldn't I? Should be going to work. Whoopsies. Okay. That's all fixed. Moving down. I don't think that I need to change anything with this. Question mark there. I think maybe this section is almost all but perfectly fine as it is. No, find it to find a surface level. It's not vital, but very useful. There is nothing around because nothing is offered by the likes of Wizards of the Coast for doing this sort of thing. It's the NPC stat block stuff, and I probably run out of time, so I probably should go and but I almost finished the entire thing. Would you believe it? Almost got all the way through, which is pretty good. It's not too bad. So I will highlight that section to remind me, if I can, highlight with yellow, that I need to return and fix this. I wonder if can I highlight this here? Maybe I can, maybe I can't, I don't know. Is there a highlight function on this one? There is a highlight function, yellow. Okay, so that's the only section that didn't get finished, but everything else, there's nothing wrong with anything I said in miscellaneous, so that's actually all done. Amazing. Doing well, thank you. It's pronounced like Caitlin. Oh, sorry. But I get all kinds of pronounce. I bet you do. You got to go back to work. I've got to go to work in a second myself. Like I literally, I should be going to work right now. So what I will do is I'll end this poll. Have you guys not been seeing what I've been doing the whole time? I didn't switch back to the other screen. I am so sorry. I didn't even realize the whole time I've been looking at these different things and jumping back and forth, making alterations. You can't actually see what I'm doing. That's got to suck. Sorry about that. So yeah, literally this is the only section out of my notes that is not finished. Like that's it in the notes section for the class. Everything else is done apart from that one section. The slideshow, that's the only slide that's not fixed. Everything else, there may be some images that need to be added in, but everything else is looking pretty good. Okay, so we're it's not too bad for 2 hours. It got a lot done. Yeah, well, I think it's best in the end. I think it's best in the end. Anyway, I am so sorry that you've been looking at my head. I completely forgot. You should have told me, Fred. We can't see what's going on. You didn't switch the scene back. Oh dear. Okay. All right. That was a mistake on my part. I'll tell you. Cool, blimey. I didn't realize I was doing that the whole time. Yes, I'll try to enjoy my day. Absolutely. It's been interesting. I had no idea I had left out those 2 books so much, and they're pretty good compared to everything else. They're probably almost superior in every way. It's just the organization of some of it. It's not necessarily tightly packed into a D10 table or D20 table, which is hard. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyway, let's cycle on out. Let's get out of here so I can go to work, so you can get on with your day. I will be back tomorrow. I believe we're talking about building and creating monsters. That one has probably even got less from Wizards of the Coast because most of it was... AJ Pickett helped me with most of that. So it doesn't really need them. Funny how that is. Anyway, I just want to say thank you to my patrons. Thank you to Fry Minis, Eric, for the super chat, and thank you to Agile Monk for sending me a whole bunch of money today on PayPal. I appreciate that. And also thank you to Rubik, who's probably already gone, but thank you for sending me the super chat. I do appreciate it. It does make a huge difference in making sure I focus on and give you better tools. And I think I've probably made sure to give you better tools. I'm just excluding some that I've decided are not so great. That is not to say that I did not keep some of the 5e stuff, because there was some stuff in the Player's Handbook which I thought was pretty good. But anyway, whether that even will exist in their new publication, who knows? So thank you to my patrons. Thank you to everybody who's been part of the live stream and been watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you for rewatching everything. That's been a great to see people rewatching or watching quite a long live stream. It is very, very long. I do understand how long it is. And hopefully in a couple of weeks, we'll be back to doing what we normally do once I've cleaned everything out. Okay, I'm sure it'll all work out in the end. And I'm just going to say right now, look, I don't do a lot of edited videos, but I do thank you for watching those and putting up with those shorts videos. I understand they can be frustrating. They really can. And yeah, wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.